It's about taking your authority back, the authority of love, the divine authority that you are, of your body, of your essence, of your being, and not giving it away to projected shame, blame, guilt narratives. Hello, Crow Collective. I know it's been a little while. Holy collective energy and integration opportunities. So I've been really feeling an integration opportunity come through this collective, which I'm now calling the Crow Collective. So if you've been with me before, awesome. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're feeling this at all, you might want to like, subscribe, and stay connected as part of the Crow Collective. This is a space for supporting the journey of self-awareness, self-discovery, self-actualization through unconditional love, grace, and compassion. Getting to know oneself to the core and expressing yourself from that core blueprint, your divine essence as the part of the whole, something that I call the totality of duality. So this energy holds neutrality, yet also separateness, non-duality and duality. So it sees the wholeness in the contrast, and it can hold multiple perspectives while also holding true to the core essence that you are of your individual self. So if any of that lands for you, you might want to stay connected, right? And flow with this collective through integrative practices, parts play, shadow exploration, and just a journey of self-love. So much self-love that it overflows into this world, and that's what we see. Peace worldwide starts inside. I think that was channeled from Lumerian, maybe, from the divine, right? So what I've been feeling for this message and this collective opportunity right now, as we move through another wave of integration, another wave of self-discovery, another invitation to look in and to challenge belief systems that we have inside, or to articulate that challenge outside, to lock in any new beliefs that we have worked on internally to make sure they lock into our outward reality. There's a part that is coming to integrate that is the shapeshifter. And what I was hearing was this is how we, the word interface, this is how we interface with our outer world and how we integrate. So we take that integration of all our parts inside, loving all those aspects of self and integrating them into wholeness, no longer suppressed or oppressed or hiding in the shadows, or no longer manipulated and moved by insecurities. So those insecure parts of self have now, we integrate them and become a secure sense of self to then articulate and self-actualize. This is an opportunity for a part that I'm hearing is the shapeshifter, the one that was moved by guilt, shame, blame, survival instincts, in a way to self-protect, but in a way that was running from a subconscious programming, right? So this is, again, I was hearing the word, not just integrate, but interface. So it's like how you interface with your world and your reality outside of you, and making sure that it is coming from this place of conscious awareness and conscious choice, and of a secure sense of self, knowing who you are, and then how that interfaces with the world outside you. So the shapeshifter part, while maybe has protected us and kept us safe in the past, running out of a insecure or protective mechanism from survival, is wanting to integrate and focus now on thriving. So in survival mode, this part, especially in the shadows, if it's not consciously aware, so I like to bring things to light so that we can consciously work with these parts and make sure that they all have their lane, right? They all support the journey of the self from a secure expression, right? A centered, secure, connected expression. So this part maybe that has been navigating has been in the shadows, meaning that it's running protection mechanisms subconsciously to protect yourself, but it could be from old narratives of survival, and it's really wanting to come integrate to then protect your next phase of your journey in thriving, in abundance, in joy, in unconditional love for yourself and others, by protecting your peace from a way that is like consciously aware, yet choosing peace not in a passive way, but in a protective mechanism to own and protect your sense of self, right? Because you know who you are now. So in the past, it could be fearfully passive, right? Moved by fear or guilt or shame or blame projected onto you or perceived that you believed about yourself, and so not feeling safe to express yourself and to be received as your unique self, then instead picking up on an energy and passively peacekeeping in order to not disrupt a relationship, right? One that maybe you care about, or maybe family dynamics or career dynamics, right? I'm not going to disrupt the peace, because if I disrupt the peace, my safety and security is compromised. Maybe financial, food, housing, whatever that is, right? And sometimes that's the dynamic. It's what I'm pointing to is to work with this in a conscious way. So instead of it running a programming that is constantly, the shapeshifter is constantly looking at the outside world to shapeshift and make sure it conforms and fits in and isn't disruptive, and in order to protect and stay being supported, whether by a system or relationship dynamic that's really rooted in codependency. It's a time to bring this part of yours in, because you have grown so much that instead of being passively peacekeeping and sacrificing yourself in doing so, not speaking your truth, not owning your feelings in healthy ways, by not speaking up for yourself, not advocating for your what really is peaceful for you, or really is helpful for you, or really brings you joy, instead of passively doing that or aggressively protecting your peace, or aggressively coming out in defense mode, letting all those emotions kind of overtake you and in a defense, right? Again, I don't feel safe, so I'm going to be silent and passive. I don't feel safe, I'm going to attack aggressively with big emotions, because I feel like I need to be big, bigger than what's attacking me. So, and all of this is outside of any real-time like threats. Like, those parts are so perfect in, like, sometimes you might pick up on someone, and this is the integration opportunity, okay? It's about being consciously aware. So once you integrate the shapeshifter stops scanning and constantly looking for threat, and even perceiving a threat that maybe is or isn't there, or it sees it but can integrate and not be so moved by shame or guilt or blame outside, but then go inside and say, I know myself so much that I'm going to consciously choose passivity here, because it's not even worth my effort to have this conversation, because I'm not even going to be received. But so I follow my peace over here. So it's not about dimming yourself or being inauthentic. It's about knowing yourself so much and have it be so consciously aware that your shapeshifter part no longer shapeshifts in order to appease everyone outside of you, or come from this subconscious survival mechanism. It's like integrating your instinctual survival mechanism to protect your thriving life, if that makes sense. So stay with me. So, like, okay, again, it's like something might come up and you might just instinctually and intuitively feel that you're not going to be received in a conversation. But instead of trying to force that in, especially in a connection maybe that used to bring you safety and security, or an idea of safety and security, but it could be a codependent relationship dynamic, or fear of loss. Like if I do speak myself, it's going to disrupt this relationship dynamic and I don't want to lose it. So instead I'll lose myself, right? That's like martyrdom. Instead, it's just a healthy sense of self to say, I'm going to take my power back, and I'm not going to allow something outside of me to shape shift me. I'm not going to allow guilt and blame and shame that others hold, or fear that others have that are projected onto me, control my shapeshifter inside of me, which maybe, again, this part might have been needed and required to protect you. But this is an invitation that you have a new chapter here that's in abundance and prosperity and health and wellness and thriving, that you can integrate this part to now take all those learnings from how that shapeshifter can support you and protect you, but in a way that is very consciously aware and integrated into your secure sense of self. So I no longer, this I, me, we, speaking in generalities, like I no longer have to be understood by you to be validated and know my self-worth. I have so much self-worth, and I can feel into my intuition and my instincts to know that there's a connection there or not, or a safe connection there or not, or that I'm going to be received or not. And I can be efficient with my energy, because when I let go of those codependent relationships, or those ideas that if I am me, fear of loss of this relationship keeps me entangled and enmeshed. It's more like, if I am me and these relationships end, that also serves everyone involved. And you come from a very empowered sense of self instead of a disempowered sense of self. And doing so, though, integrating it from a very loving way, a very, you invite this part into you wherever it's been hiding in the shadows or protecting you from the shadows. Bring it to light into your heart, bring it into your grace and compassion, and just saying, like, thank you so much for protecting me in that way, and give it a place in your heart, a place in your circle, a direction, and let it know what to now protect. So maybe it's been protecting relationships that actually no longer serve you, or belief systems that no longer serve you. So bring it back, in onto your team, and give it a direction and say, thank you for showing me where to protect myself, or thank you for showing me where blame and shame and guilt and fear are present. And then bringing the loving authority back to yourself to use your shapeshifter to be moved by love, to be moved by grace, to be moved by compassion, to be moved by peace, and to be moved by your core, authentic sense of self that is secure and grounded. And so when your shapeshifter brings something to your awareness, instead of, again, shapeshifting because of someone else's energetics that are being imposed onto you, you are integrating and you are interfacing. This is a really important word that just keeps coming through with this message. Interfacing with your outside world, because you've already done the work. So if you're still with me, I'm flowing with this message that's coming through, kind of blah, blah, blah. It's still integrating and it's still interfacing, but the message is you've done the work. You've done the inner integration work, and this part is one that wants to be integrated because you know your sense of self, and you have that strong sense of self, and you're now looking to interface again with the outside world in a different way, from a secure sense of self, instead of your maybe past insecure patterns that we all have, right? That get built by all kinds of different experiences we have in our lifetime and lifetimes, right? So really, this is for a collective that has done a lot of integration work, that is feeling called to live in a different way and from a different energetic fingerprint, I want to say, and just live life in the most centered, secure sense of self, bringing forth joy, love, compassion, and health, wealth, and prosperity, and inviting others. So liberating yourself from past insecure dynamics and codependent patterns. It's full on mental, emotional, physical, spiritual liberation. And so this is another invitation that a call that you have done this, but there's a part here that has been a shapeshifter that was integrated into your reality, or taking so much input from the outside and allowing it to move you from a subconscious level, and it wants to come to your conscious awareness. It wants to be integrated and be on your team as one in wholeness, no longer in the shadows. It's like celebrating this part of you that maybe, like, I know even personally, like, it was a part of me that I didn't like how influenced I was by my outside world, or that my empathic abilities and my extreme high sensitivity resulted in a dysregulated nervous system, or that I believed that what I was perceiving from someone else's perspective of me or projections that were true. So I had to shed those layers and get really strong on my sense of self, so much that I could even love the shapeshifter that believed that. And then now it's a new belief system to integrate this shapeshifter to come from an empowered sense of self. Like, I know who I am, and I love how intuitive and empathic I am, and my deep sensitivities to my outer world as well as my inner world. And when those are both integrated and what was the word that was coming now? It's integrated and interfaced appropriately. You walk through this world with a strong sense of self and a strong sense of others, and a respect for others and a respect for self. And then you can flow and dance with the energies of the whole, right? The totality of duality. I am separate and I am one. And in my oneness, I feel it all. And then I can go and honor my separateness. In my separateness, I'm more directed to my oneness over this way, right? I'm going to protect my peace by disengaging, but from an empowered state, not a disempowered state where I lose myself. It's a conscious choice that comes from my inner authority, not a perceived authority outside of me. That's a big one. Thanks for that clarity. Like, it's about taking your authority back, the authority of love, the divine authority that you are, of your body, of your essence, of your being, and not giving it away to projected shame, blame, guilt narratives, right? You can sense it, you can feel it, you can stay present with it, and you can discern what's yours and what someone else's. And you can also see it as a whole, and you might feel a collective in the room of shame, and you can discern whether you're even going to dance with it or not, right? If there's even space for it to transmute to love, or if it's just has a stronghold there and you're being guided and asked to follow your peace into another conversation, or into new relationship dynamics, new career choices, whole new chapters, whole new books are coming online right now. So, is there anything else? Tell me what's alive for you. Like, did this bring something up for you? What's the shapeshifter like in yours? Like, drop a comment. Do you have the shapeshifter archetype in you? Do you, are you aware of it? Do you appreciate it? Do you love it? Is it asking for more love, right? And that's what happens when they're in the shadow, these parts that we can maybe demonize about ourselves or feel shameful for, or that are just simply running in the subconscious, that don't have our loving awareness and compassion and grace. They can totally take over our world until we're ready to bring them into awareness and back into the heart space with so much love and say, you belong, right? So, recognizing and celebrating the shapeshifter and all the protection that it has done and has required because of your outside world, because of the situations you've been in, but also to know that now you have cultivated, whoever's landing with this, you have cultivated enough safety and security and sense of self inside you that you're now being asked and called to take this shapeshifter power that you have, these deep sense of others and the environment and your empathy and your like heart longing for deep connection with the outer world and yourself, you're now ready to integrate and interface in this world in a whole new way and have a whole new experience that is rooted in safety, security, and love that you've already cultivated inside. So you've done the work, you have it there. This part is just now asking and ready to be fully integrated, and then give it purpose. So it does, maybe you might want to practice like have a conversation, ask where this part sits within you. I'm getting a lot of throat stuff like this part might in the past not had a voice. Give it a voice. Where has this part felt like it didn't have space? Where did it get stuck? Mine I think, like I'm picking up collectively and also personally, mine got stuck in the throat. And that's what it did. It didn't feel like it had a safe place to have a voice and to voice itself in self-expression. So my shapeshifter got stuck here as a protection mechanism, would shut my voice down and be very passive and silent when maybe I should have spoke up. And then finally speaking up, it was a little aggressive, felt like it had to defend my beliefs, defend my sense of self. So it came from an insecure sense of self, and didn't just like flow with divine love and ease until I started to really work with all my parts and really get to know myself. And now it can be really strong and unwavering. My shapeshifter can choose, even if I have a very valid, strong opposing opinion or something to say, I can discern and say it's not even going to land on these ears. So let's go share it, in the collective here. Let's go share where this message will land. So it's for the ears that are ready to hear, the eyes that are ready to see, those that are ready to be in full embodiment of a secure sense of self, and then interfacing with the outside world and starting to see that reflection of all the inner work that you have done, right? This isn't for everybody. And so if you felt called to click off, or you've been feeling click off, right? This is for a very specific collective. And if this lands in any way, definitely like, subscribe, comment, let me know. Type Crow Collective down there. I've been really feeling called. It has to do with crow energy, crow medicine, a different perspective, a gift bringer to the world, creating new ways of being, and also connecting. We're connecting from all over. It's physical distance is not keeping crow energy separate, and the crow will travel through the world and bring gifts of awareness from different perspectives into the collective consciousness. So yeah, I think that's it. Suatata I tinine I kiki huhu tu suhu kua ataka I satana a hatai tanane itia kahu sutuhu nu kaanana hata satia hakai tanane utukua akanatata. From my crow heart to yours. I hope to see you on here more, and until next time.